Alright guys, day 47, part 1. So in this video I just want to leave you with a quick idea that I came up with, and that's the actual meaning of hard work, which basically means surviving the sprints. Now what I mean by that is on a daily basis, you're probably not going to be working for 17 hours a day, right? I at most work, between 6 and 10 hours a day. It fluctuates depending on the day, depending on my classes and whatnot. But for the most part, that's how it is, and it's pretty manageable. I have plenty of time to do whatever else I want, because I sleep for 8 hours, and so out of the 16 hours that I'm awake, I spend 10 hours for the most part. Like, it revolves around work, so I've got 6 hours left during the day to do whatever I want, which is quite a bit of time. So it's not that bad most of the time, but sometimes you're gonna have to go through these intense periods of focus, of an extremely heavy workload, and those are going to test your limits, and those are what I call sprints. For example, right now I'm going through final season. I'm also managing multiple social media brands, not just this one, although this one is my main one, and I'm also pursuing other ventures of mine that I haven't talked about yet on the channel, but I will soon. And so because of that, I'm managing quite a few things all at once on my plate, and I'm basically going to be grinding it out for the next like 2 weeks or so, and so because of that, this is what I would call one of those periods of intense focus. This is what I would call one of those sprints, right? Basically, the more of these sprints that you're able to push yourself through and recuperate afterwards, of course, and then keep going again. Like it's like monk mode, right? Like I know a monk mode has gotten very popular relatively recently, and so people talk about how going into these periods of intense focus and then doing degenerate shit for like a while afterwards, and then repeating that cycle. And so this is similar to that, except you don't do the degenerate shit between these periods of focus. Instead, you just go back to your baseline, which is a sustainable amount of progress that you're making on a daily basis. But periodically, you're going to have to go through these sprints, and your ability to survive these sprints, not just survive them, but thrive in them and produce your best work, get the most shit done. That's what's going to determine your ability to accomplish your goals for a large part. Because the true test of a person's discipline and their ability to stick to something once they've set out to do it, even under the most difficult circumstances, is like testing someone's ability to stick to whatever it is that they set out to do, whatever they promised to themselves that they would do under extremely difficult circumstances, is the only way to separate people who actually achieve their goals from people who don't, right? It's when times get tough that you need to either step up or give up. And I know it sounds very motivational and sappy and whatnot, but it really is true. Like, if I look back at different periods of my life, it was during those times when I had to work my butt off for, like, I'm not even joking about this, probably 16 to 18 hours a day, even compromising on my sleep to a certain extent, which I don't recommend at all. But there were just periods of time during my life where I was just so busy that I had no other choice but to do all of that shit and get through it. Even though they were very short-lived, they were temporary, they were brief, they were extremely difficult to get through. And so over time, you get better and better at taking on that level of work, that level of intensity, and it just makes you a more disciplined, well-rounded person who's more capable of handling difficult circumstances. And so that's all I've got for this one. I hope you got some value out of that. And again, I'm not encouraging workaholism. I encourage a sustainable amount of progress every single day. Consistency in the long run always trumps periodic bursts of hyper productivity. And but you're going to face these periods of time, you're going to face these periods in your life wherein you're going to have to do a lot of shit. You're going to be super busy, and you're going to be working super hard. Afterwards, make sure to rest for a bit. Take a couple days off if you need to, whatever it may be, and then get back to making a sustainable amount of progress every single day, right? You're going to have to endure these sprints. It's just something that happens. It's just something that's a part of the process. At least that's what I've learned from pursuing and accomplishing some of my goals in the past. So anyways, that's all I've got for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.